Free your mind now. Be part of People's Pan-African Parliament, the Pan-African Pyramid Debate with your speaker, Andrew Irumba Katusabe.
Let us compare. If Martin Luther came back today, would he be happy with the African leader that his mission is being actually carried forward? Just a few.
In 1797, the West had seen African continent as a zoo. You know a zoo? And therefore, not even a zoo or something that has no control over. And you could go and poach at any time and get any animal you want. Now, today, I'm going to talk about this man, the history of black Americans, where they came from, and then talk about the injustices. This man was fighting for injustices that was imposed to black Americans. These are sons and daughters of the people they took during slave trade to go and work as their animals. Those who know English, those domestic animals are called what? Pets. Call them domestic what? Pets. This is where like domestic what? Pets. So, that massive civil rights was like trying to reclaim and sending a message that no, we are not animals, we are what? We are human beings. These are some of the things that should not, because I was telling you, some of us, whenever we read about this, it's like when you are having a wound and someone comes and steps in the wound. Some of us, some of these things, they are still fresh in our minds. It is very sad. People to reduce you to a level of being a monkey, to being someone, you know, why do these people demonize us to such an extent? People were sold in broad daylight. People were donated. And they went to United States as manpower, like the way how you can get a donkey. There are some people in northern, how many people are coming from north? Yes, they use those ox bulls to dig. You know those ones? They had the Myanmar in the business of bull fattening. I always get many people from that side who come to buy bulls from me. So, Africans were taken like bulls to go and dig in their gardens. So the fathers of this man was among of those who were taken to United States. I'm using the simplest language to make you understand and see why this Pan-African movement, whether we are on the right track or not, whether some of these people, what they fought for, are still remaining, or there is some change. Now, in the United States, the children of the slaves started going to school, but you could not be allowed to go to attain a certain level of education, because there was a a lot of segregation and racism by that time. You could not contest for any position. Even they had some laws which were actually like some of the laws used here in South Africa. And I don't know why they never actually mentioned it as the apartheid. Is it because here it was in Africa? You can imagine in South Africa, the Wazungu reached an extent of building roads for Africans. And the moment they could get you riding or driving or moving, only moving, just walking on Mzungu Road, that's a crime. So, Africa is really, we have come from very far. So this man said, no, enough is enough. He was fighting for the justice of black Americans. That's the story. In my own understanding, I think you were watching. This man was not fighting for his family. He was fighting for all that majority you saw that were marginalized, oppressed for a long time.
Free your mind now. Be part of people's Pan-African Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, you need to tell these ones, and me too, that this Pan-African movement is to awaken the minds and souls of young, energetic Africans to wake up and follow the legacy of our ancestors, those the pioneers, the vanguards of the revolutions.
I don't have much to say about Martin Luther King. He was a great man, but I think he was prophetic because he was killed in 1968, and exactly 40 years later, we got the first black African president. Exactly 40 years, because 40 plus that. So I also welcome our brothers from Sudan. You will get the Pan-African card. We are, I think, moving in an era of new Pan-Africanism, not the old. In the old, there was African segregation actually practiced. But here we now want a new Africa. Arabs are there, white people from South Africa, Arabs from North Africa, everybody living in Africa. What would I want to see? You know, when you look at, how many people have looked at Siberia, Russia? In Russia, people are not living in the barren parts of Russia. They don't live there. They come all out to live in the fertile land. So why should people live in Sudan, in the desert, Sahel, in the dry, areas where there is nothing green, no matoke, no bananas? If Africa became one continent, one government,
Actually, call it one home.
one home,
Yeah.
you come and live in cold, good Buganda where there is matoke, there is cassava, not in like the dry parts of Sudan. Even in, big Congo here. They should remove the borders, give us one passport.
Yes.
Because since 1963, the Pan-Africanism has been for us waiting from the African leaders to one day sit and sign away the rights. They'll never do that. Why? Because Bashir still wants to control something. Doesn't want the people to be free. Our president here will still want to control something, the army or the money, as he was saying. So, leaders of Africa will never unite Africa.
History has told us that sometimes opportunities must be seized or they will be lost. From what I have heard from you, Professor, Comrade Kashaya, and our speaker, Irumba Katushabe, as young people, we are committed to the cause and we shall continue learning, but maybe one simple quote. Martin Luther said, injustice is a threat to justice everywhere. And as lawyers, I'm a student of law at Makerere, we have a saying that justice should not only be seen to be done, but appear to be done. Now, like students in Makerere, there is a movement connected to the Pan-African Pyramid. We want to establish, particularly we want to get that literature. We want also to invite you there and come and interact with us. Thank you very much.